What's up, everyone, and welcome back to ClearTalk. In this video, we're going to be talking about Artemis, Artemis 2, actually. Something that I have not talked about yet. I honestly didn't really even keep up with it or hear about it really until it was already happening, with all the chaos and craziness going on. And even right now, it feels weird to try to talk about this with the insanity of this morning already, but I'm gonna try to go over and talk about it. The mission, um, that as they're doing right now, and then my thoughts on NASA and landing on the moon and everything from back in the 70s to now. I'm gonna kind of talk about that for a second. You might not, you might be a little mad or call me some shit after this, but whatever. I'm gonna talk about it. So thank you very much for joining me. And if you are new to Clear Talk, welcome. If you'd like to check out more videos from the channel, please do so. Consider subscribing, like, share, comment, all that good stuff to get more videos in front of more people. If you'd like to check out, it's free for you, and helps out the channel, amazingly. So please do consider that. If you'd like to check out videos from the other channels, there's JMD there, JMDPLAY, JMD Puzzling. If you like what you see there, consider subscribing and all that stuff to those channels as well. Again, free for you, helps out those videos tremendously. If you want to go further, there's Patreon there, $3 a month. You can support any of the channels that you would like to help grow those channels, to help grow Patreon, to help grow JMD Nation, and contribute how you would like to that growth. Any support or contribution to give is very much appreciated, and I thank you very much. And if you are returning, you're freaking amazing. You are amazing. Welcome back, and keep coming back, because you're what makes JMD Nation. Okay, so we have an article here. Earth set and eclipse by NASA releases magnificent images from Artemis mission moon flyby. A day after the Artemis 2 mission historic lunar flyby, NASA has released a stunning set of high-resolution images documenting Earthset and Earthrise, a solar eclipse that sets the moon aglow, and the other views of the lunar far side and astronauts who took the pictures. The photographs were taken during a 7-hour lunar observation period at the furthest point of the Orion space capsule's 10-day odyssey. The mission marked the first crew trip around the moon since Apollo 17 in 1972 and the furthest ever voyage by space travelers, 252,756 miles from Earth and more than 4,000 miles beyond the moon. The Earthset photo was captured just as our home planet was sinking beneath the lunar horizon, followed about 40 minutes later by a picture of Earth rising above the horizon on the other side of the moon. The pictures rekindled the spirit of NASA's original Earthrise photo taken by astronaut Bill Anders during Apollo 8's round the moon mission in 1968. The original Earthrise is one of the best known photos from the Apollo era, but it took decades to confirm who actually took the shot. Anders wasn't the sort of person to make a fuss over attribution. After a long career in NASA, at the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, in the diplomatic corps, and in private industry, he settled down in Western Washington and founded the Heritage Flight Museum in Burlington, Washington. 2 years ago, he died in a plane crash in waters off the San Juan Island at the age of 90. So yes, what's going on here is you have Artemis 2, and they it's a mission. I think it's 4 individuals, if I'm not mistaken. One of which is a black guy, which is the first time a mission has, a black person has been on as an astronaut, been on a mission around the moon, and into space like this. So that is, pretty amazing on its own. And is Drew, this guy here, and they're releasing pictures where they basically did like this loop-de-loop thing around the Earth to gain the speed they need to accelerate off, and then they go in around the moon, making a long, I think, elongated run around the moon, and then basically slingshotting back. I think it's only a one single trip, and then slingshotting back. It's like a 10-day mission, that where they're taking pictures of the far side of the moon. And this is the first time that this has been done since the 70s. Like 50 years that's taken for us to decidedly do this again. And they've released some pictures here. This is a full eclipse of the sun. Well, not fully, but well, it's somewhat fully. Where they had 54 minutes of totality, extending the view beyond what is possible from Earth. Here's the crew here in their solar eclipse glasses, which were only needed during the phase where the sun was still, beaming around. Once it was in totality, of course, they wouldn't need it, but then put them back on afterwards. And again, have some images here that has been taken. This is beyond the sun coming around after where they're transitioning out of totality of the eclipse. Here's a Earth set picture. So this is a view here from where this, the Earth is setting while they were going around the moon, and then we have the Earth rise here on the other side. And then there's pictures here of the moon, which honestly, if I'm being honest, is not like impressive for these to first be released here, because this is nothing outside of what I can do with my telescope right here from my house. I mean, I can literally see this on a telescope right here from the house. So it's like a little bit underwhelming. I'm sure that there will be like photos and stuff released. They have a slew of photos that have been taken with multiple different cameras, and once they are either further into the mission, NASA said that once they're further into the mission, or once the mission they are back to Earth, they will release that collective of pictures. So hopefully then there will be some way more impressive pictures. I mean, these are interesting. But and the reason why I know I sound kind of skeptical here, okay, and that is because while I actually do feel like, because this has been like live streamed, and like this, I feel like this is a genuine mission. I feel like they really are doing a mission around the moon and doing it. The reason why I say that I think they are, and then this feels like legitimate, and this feels like, something that is genuine. And then on top of this, they're not landing on the moon. That particular mission is planned for 2028 to land on the moon again. And there's so much of like worry and concern, the planning of this with all the technology and stuff that we have today. The ability that we have equipment wise and scientifically, like all these things that like, and there was concern and worry about this mission. It just brings up the more concern that I've had for the longest time about the original landing on the moon, and how I feel that it never actually happened. And while it's not to discredit the astronauts of the Apollo missions or anything, but it's to discredit NASA and like the apparatus of American exceptionalism, and how I feel like there was this race before of, who could first be on the moon, blah, 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 blah. And I think that there is this desperation of somebody claiming at least that we were on the moon, that's exactly what we did. I feel that I deeply feel, understand, we had less technology in the quote unquote Apollo that left our atmosphere, traveled an unknown territory that we haven't done again. Flybys and then landings, and had less technology than our literal cell phones now. And like, or even the capabilities of sending signals, photo signals, video, communication, like it just, of that time when it was hard to even receive a radio signal on your phone. I mean, on your car or your television, like, planes that just, it hadn't been long. We could even just make one trip around, the Earth or whatever. Like, but yet we sent a rocket hundreds of thousands of miles away from the Earth, around the moon, a territory that we just never had been to before. Like, it just feels very like, I don't know. I know a lot of people full on believe in it and full on accept it. And I'm not like a full on denier that we did it, but like I'm sitting here in the vein of skepticism. Like, yeah, I'm not too sure about this because I've seen other evidence. I've seen the evidence on both sides, and I'm sitting here like, yeah, I'm not so sure. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just saying, like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense that we were actually able to do that. And while I know a lot of people are like, yeah, but the astronauts have said, and they blah blah blah, and like they wouldn't lie to us, or they would. If you understand, this is it would be a total like outcry that our government and NASA itself made this claim to have everybody believe in, to suddenly it be released that it never happened. Like, the astronauts have been held to to go to the grave, I'm pretty sure. So it's like, I'm not, and again, it's not to undermine anything that they did, or even potentially the amount that they did go into space, not discrediting any of that, or their training, or the technology that started us into venturing out into space. It's just the idea that we went to the moon and landed on the moon just does not make a lot of sense. And what further drives me in the skepticism area is the fact that it's taken this long for us to go back. Like, let's talk. I mean, American exceptionalism. We're talking about like when we figure out how we can do something, it's like full blown. We do it continuously. We're not going to stop. And so it feels very weird that we, made this a miraculous, never before, thing of going to the moon, and then suddenly we just decide to not do it again. or wait a whole 50 years before we did attempt to do it again? Like, it is. I feel like in the moment that happened, there was this determination to be the first nation to make the claim, at least, that we did this. So that's what the U.S. did. And, created the pictures that we needed to create, but wait on technology and the ability to actually do so, because back then there was no way of really being able to verify whether or not NASA actually did this or not. And then when you got into the early times of the internet and all the, like it made it even harder for NASA to commit to doing something like this. And then the information age and the live streaming, we have such quick connection and ability to verify things now. I think it literally has taken this long for them to actually get the confidence and the know-how to actually carry out this mission and be successful in it. And then to even furthermore not even be like, okay, we know we've been there before, so we're just going to do it again. This is like a testing of going around the moon. And then later we're going to quote unquote land on it again. That's my thing. Again, I think this is a remarkable mission. I am very enthusiastic to see the pictures that they release. I mean, this is an amazing picture. But also, we live in a digital age where it's hard to believe any pictures. But this is a remarkable picture. And I think, all of these are very, very remarkable pictures. Well, except for these two. But I mean, I hope to see what they release and what they quote unquote learn from the mission. Because I genuinely do think that there's a better chance, at least, that this is actual genuine and we are actually seeing a mission of actually going around the moon and venturing out like we've never done before. Now, that's not to discredit all the unmanned missions of robotic the stuff that we've done, going to Mars, going to that's, even though even some of that's maybe not. But I feel like this is the first time we've actually genuinely sent people. And I still sit again in skepticism, very harsh skepticism at that. I admit, on the original missions where we quote unquote landed on the moon or went around the moon. And so, yeah, that's my feelings on that. I know I'm going to have a lot of people hit me on, oh, you're crazy, or, conspiracy theorists or whatever. This is not really a conspiracy or nothing. I'm not definitively saying either or. I'm just sitting in a realm of skepticism. I don't, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. It doesn't. It doesn't make a lot of sense that we were able to do that, but we had such limitations in almost every other field of science in that time. But we were able to carry that mission out. Just seems a little sketchy. So I'm saying a little sus. But again, I applaud this mission. I applaud this crew, all their training and preparation for this, the bravery in this, and even like to what extent even the original, missions, what they did, like really did or not, or whatever. Even that, or any mission that has been, since then. We're talking about satellite missions or whatever the case. The space station missions and all this. Like that, astronauts do remarkable work, and they, it's a brave and daring mission and skill set. So yeah, very much so. Applaud. I'd rather see this than a bunch of celebrities go up in a dick just to act like they've been in space. Like this is actual, real, like honest, genuine. Substantive educational type of things that NASA gives us, okay? Because they have all of our scientific and electronic and everywhere we are right now, very much so sits on behind science and technology that was developed by NASA. So again, I just, it's just those missions in particular that I have, scrutiny on. Maybe we actually did, and I'm just being way too harsh of a critic and sitting in, an area of skepticism that's not warranted. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, it just doesn't feel quite right. But, I'd rather see this. I'd rather see this than the bullshit that, what's his name from Amazon? With his, like I said, ship that whatever. That looks like a dick. And again, taking celebrities up, like that's just like completely pointless. And so again, this is incredible. Can't wait for the pictures. Let me know what you think. Whether talking about this mission or past stuff. Am I crazy? Probably, maybe. It's okay. But I feel that if you're not giving some sort of scrutiny or criticism to some things, at least things that seem a bit like out of touch, like that seem a bit like they should be unbelievable, then I mean, but yeah, this is incredible. And so let me know what you think about this mission, about anything you want around this. And yeah, thank you very much for joining me. Until next time, peace. And I'm gonna keep up with it too. Again, whenever they get back and they release pictures and stuff like that, we'll go over those. We'll look at those. It'd be, I think it'd be really cool to do. So yeah, let me know what you think though. Until next time, peace. ClearTalk. I'm out.